Child support case number one. I received a letter in the mail from child support ordering me to come to a hearing and what documents I needed to bring with me. We arrived at the hearing early. I took the time to glance around the office to nothing but moms looking to get child support or complaining about back pay. Within time, our names was called. We followed the representative to her office. The representative got straight down to business. She asked my son mom for her info, where she worked and how much she made before taxes. Then asked me the same questions. I have to admit I could have lied and said I worked one job instead of telling them I worked two jobs. Plus, I didn't think my son mom would play along with the lie. I, I handed representative a shoebox full of receipts and told her this was everything I bought for my son before and after he was born. She told me all of that was a gift. I was pissed to hear that because everyone I worked with told me to make sure I keep up my receipts. Now here they don't mean nothing. Then I am officially on child support for 18 long years. Time went on, I ended up getting behind on payments for many different reasons. Ended up getting a letter asking me to come to court. I didn't think nothing of the letter. The court date came, we showed up together. I went in the back. The representative asked a dozen questions, told me how much I was behind. I didn't know I was $1,000 behind. They asked me if I had any bank accounts at any bank, if I had 401k or any retirement plan, how much I was willing to pay towards $1,000. I told them I was working and had $400 check to pick up in a few days. Within minutes, we was before the judge answering the same questions once again. That turned into a back and forth. He wanted either the entire $1,000 or my freedom for the back pay. I did not know back pay and child support was this serious. After the back and forth and not getting nowhere, the judge asked for recess. As I walked out the courtroom, all I could think about was the judge's words. You had 30 minutes to figure out an amount you willing to give up to keep your freedom, or you going to jail for 6 months. I still couldn't believe the judge asked me if I would sell my clothes, how much you think you could get for them. My reply was who would be willing to buy used clothes. I made it to the parking lot where my son's grandmother was waiting for us in the car. She asked what was going on. I guess she seen the frustration on my face. I told her what happened. She was lost for words. I still couldn't believe going to jail was on the table or pay $1,000. Knowing my $4 check I couldn't pick up until Tuesday wasn't enough to prevent me from going to jail. After the recess was over, I made my mind up to go try one last time and hope this judge allowed me to keep my freedom. Once in the courtroom, the judge got straight to it. Have you come up with enough money to give us? I replied with what I've been saying all day, yet I have my $400 something at work to pick up, and I have a job I can make the money within 90 days. The judge replied, I sentenced you to 180 days and court ordered you to work release. At the time, I didn't know nothing about work release, my eyes straight in tears. I couldn't hold them back any longer. Here I am going to jail for child support, something I didn't know you could go to jail for. Once I was cuffed and brought to the cells downstairs, I couldn't maintain. I let the tears run. I came to court in my uniform and told the judge about my check I could pick up in a few days. All the inmates see me crying. I didn't care. I was still in shock and asking myself, how the fuck you can go to jail for back pay or child support? Is that possible? Some years go back, I find myself right back in front of the same judge about back pay once again. This time, I know the judge didn't have no understanding. The judge informed me of this amount I was behind. The good thing about this balance was he was talking about the payments I missed when I first came home from prison. I explained to the judge how hard it was to find stable work as a convicted felon and how my jobs have been up and down since I was released from prison. I've been finding work all part-time. I explained my living situation since getting out of county jail. At the moment, I was staying in the shelter until I find 2 full-time jobs. The judge went through our file, then replied, you was finding part-time work while we never received payments from the part-time jobs. That told me right there the state or the judge don't give a damn about how I survive. I replied I was using the little money that I made to keep stable roof over my head. My son mom tried to put her 2 cents in. The judge looked right at the state. Do she get assistance? The state said yeah. The judge turned to my son mom. Ma'am, anything you have to say means nothing. You've been collecting our help for a while now. It is our job to enforce it, and he will pay either money or 100 days in jail. With that being said, we're going to recess. Sir, decide your future. We took another recess for some reason. I knew I was about to go back to jail once again for child support unless I came up with some money or option B, which was going on the run and get my funds up. Once we was out of the office, I made a run for the elevator. My mind was made up. I was going on the run, and by the time they catch me, I would have the funds. Once the elevator door closed, I turned to my son mom with pure hatred in my eyes. You see how much hell this child support shit is done? You see the hell this shit is putting me through? How the fuck I supposed to survive with all of this going on? She replied, calm down, agreed to pay $100. I cut her off. If I had $100, I would have told them. She agreed to give me the money. We returned to the courtroom. The judge asked, what do I want to do? You want to go home or you want to go to jail? I told him I have $100 to give. The judge asked the state and my son mom would they accept. They agreed. The judge asked me how fast can I get the money. I said I don't know. She would let me borrow it. The judge snapped, you paying his balance for him? Why? My son mom replied, you lock him up. That is 6 months of no payment. I can't afford that. We all was finally in agreement. They told us where to go pay the funds. 2 weeks later, I showed up to my son mom to pay back the $100. I asked her what they did with the $100 we paid. She told me that came in the mail last week. That is when I realized she got the same $100 back twice. I didn't trip because I still had my freedom. That was the most important thing for me at the moment, was to keep my freedom.